apple crumb. These are munchkins. Mommy's gonna try her toxic espresso. Addie, stop recording. Tastes like medicine.
Oh.
It's the apple crumb. Tastes like nothing. I don't think I've introed this video yet, so hi, welcome to another video. My name is Tori. This is my 1-month-old Hannah. I also have an almost 2-year-old upstairs. She's 20 months old, or 22 months old. I'm a work from home mom, currently on maternity leave though, until mid-June. Today is Wednesday, and this morning we went to Dunkin' to try Dunkin's spring menu. Mine, I warmed up to by the end of it, but the first couple of sips, it was very heavy with the raspberry syrup, and I think I said it in one of the clips, it tasted like medicine a little bit. But once it was like mixed in and like more diluted, it tasted better. And at first when I was drinking it, I was like, yeah, I wouldn't get this again. But now I'm like, maybe I would get it again. I don't know. Yeah, and then we had the new blueberry, well, they're the wedding cake munchkins. That was really good. I don't know if that's like a common flavor. I'd never heard of that, but my last vlog, I talked about the hard time we've been having. We have 2 under 2, which has been tough, but specifically we've been having a rough time with my toddler, and things were getting better. In that last video, we were on like the upswing. It got bad again. She started waking up and screaming in the middle of the night again. She started like protesting her naps again, like crazy screaming, and we thought it was because she was getting teeth the first time around, and then when things started getting better, I thought it was because like her teeth had broken through, and then we started to realize like, no, I think this is actually separation anxiety. So we obviously, as every parent does in the year 2026, we did a lot of Googling and consulting Reddit and parenting articles and stuff. And we kind of came to the conclusion like, yeah, this actually sounds more like separation anxiety from all of us, but like me specifically. And I don't go anywhere. I'm with my, I'm in this house with my kids 24/7. So I think it has to do with like just the life changes. She cried out like for like 2 minutes before her nap today and then fell asleep, which is a huge improvement because she had just been screaming for like a good amount of time before her naps, which was really hard for me and my husband mentally, and obviously for our toddler. But everything we read was just like maintain the boundary, reassure them that you're here, you know, say like mommy will be back after your nap, and have a quick goodbye, and then come back after their nap and say mommy is still here, you know, mommy came back. And I think that is starting to help. I think just like sticking to our routine, sticking to our boundaries, I think it's starting to help. Hopefully it is. But yeah, anyway, so things were getting better in the last video, and then between that video and this video, we had another downturn where things were bad again, and now things are better again. The other little update I have is this little girl has started to become a little bit more fussy. I've also noticed an interesting trend in her bowel movements. And the thing is, my firstborn, the toddler that's been having a tough time with her naps, had milk soy protein intolerance. I talked about it so much over over my daughter's first year of life, because it was a huge part of my life because she was breastfed. So I had to give up dairy and soy, which is an extremely hard thing to do. It's not like I just couldn't have tofu. Like I couldn't have anything that was cooked in vegetable oil because vegetable oil is soybean oil. Anyway, if you want to know about the struggles of being a milk soy protein intolerance mom, Google some stories, Google like what the protocol is. It's hard. A lot of the time people just end up stopping breastfeeding and giving them a hypoallergenic formula, and I just knew that I wanted to continue to breastfeed, so my diet became extremely strict for 13 months so that I could continue to breastfeed my daughter, and we were able to do it, and she was able to continue to thrive on my breast milk. Anyway, with this one, she started to show, like I said, some signs that maybe she's going through that, or she's just starting to wake up a little bit more and become a little bit more of cranky. It's either just that this is how babies are, she's being a baby, or it could be the beginning of the start of the milk soy protein intolerance. So we have her 1 month appointment on Friday, and I'm bringing in a few diapers for them to test for blood, because if they have an allergy, it'll come out as positive for trace amounts of blood. Like, it's not like she's bleeding, you know what I mean? Like, it would just be trace amounts because she'd have inflammation in her intestines. And by the time we figure that out with my firstborn, she had already been colicky for over a month, and my husband and I were at our wits' end. And I'm just really trying to avoid that this time. And so we're just, the first sign of trouble, we are getting her diapers tested, and hopefully it comes back negative, and she's just a fussy baby, but like, or she's just, fussing like a normal baby and everything's normal, and, I can handle that. But the level it got to with my firstborn was really tough mentally for me and my husband, and obviously my daughter was in pain. I will update you guys on that when she has her 1 month appointment. She's already 1 month old, but the appointment's just like a little delayed. It's actually like almost a full week delayed. I'm hoping that it's just normal baby fussiness. But anyway, the plan for the rest of today, we are going to be sprucing up the house a little bit, doing a little refresh. My husband's mom is coming over to meet the baby for the first time. I talked about this in my last 2 vlogs, I think, but we've just been on lockdown. We haven't really allowed anyone to visit because we don't really want anyone in close contact with us or like be in social situations until she's 2 months, because it is peak cold and flu season, and going through that with a newborn and like the potential of them getting sick is very scary. That said, like, we do still go to like Dunkin', or like Target, but we try to time it with times that are like not crowded. Like, I'm not going to go to Target on a Saturday, but I might go to Target on like a Tuesday morning, So we still try to like go out, but still avoid crowds. But that said, as far as having people in our home holding the baby, we really did limit it to just my mom and sister and my husband's mom, but she didn't make it out to come visit yet, so she's coming to visit today. She's gonna bring food over, which will be nice. Anyway, I'm gonna edit a thumbnail. It's actually for a video that's already up. It's my first 2 weeks with 2 under 2. I'll put that somewhere in a card over here. But it's not, I'm at a crossroads with my thumbnails and like my style of video and vlogs. I want to change things up and make them more like aesthetically pleasing and make them less just like generic thumbnails. So I'm trying a few different styles out. Let me know in the comments if you like the thumbnail for the last 3 videos. I'm about to change the thumbnail for my first 2 weeks with 2 under 2 video. And then my video since then is a days in my life with 2 under 2. I don't know what aesthetic I want to go for yet, but I want to change things up a little bit. I'm gonna go. My daughter's gonna be up any minute now. And yeah, I just wanted to check in, say hey, give you guys a little update. I never introed this video, but I just literally started filming. And I want to bring you guys along with me for the rest of the day and the next couple of days. Let me stop rambling. See you guys later. A while later, Zach's mom's gonna be over here. Oh, I have to find my phone. His mom's gonna be here probably in about an hour and a half-ish. Addie's playing in her playroom. I'm baby wearing Hannah because we just came back from a walk. She has this little piano mat that only has 1 volume and it is very loud. So yeah, after Zach's mom leaves, after Addie's in bed, I'm going to pass this one off to Zach because I really want to get started on moving her 0 to 3 month clothes into one of her drawers. I just recently moved out the preemie stuff because she never ended up being in it, which we didn't know until people had already bought us preemie clothes. Hopefully I don't have a preemie sized baby next time. But if I do, at least I'll be prepared. And then if not, it'll bless someone else after we're done having kids, because I will donate them. Anyway, so I want to move her 0 to 3 month stuff because she's starting to outgrow some of her newborn clothes. Like some of her onesies that like are cotton that have been washed a lot have started to shrink, and she like doesn't fit them anymore. And even some of her pants are getting a little tight. Some of her onesies are getting a little tight. So I think like within the next week or two, we're gonna be moving her in a 0 to 3. And I think it will be a little bit big on her, but I don't think she will be able to squeeze her into newborn any. After that, we haven't tried a size 1 diaper on her, but she's been having blowouts almost daily because her newborn diapers, we're having to like squeeze her into them. So I think she's already out of the newborn size diapers, which is crazy because Addie was in newborn diapers for like 2 months, honestly. Like she was such a small baby, and she is looking less like a little itty bitty newborn and more like a baby every day. So I'm gonna go and I'll be back later. It's the next day. I'm in my pajamas still. Addie is currently putting herself down for her nap. I don't know if you guys saw me since I put braids in my hair, but I put braids in my hair last night, and obviously I slept on them, so they look a little crazy. I have not gotten myself ready for the day yet, even though it's 12:15. We had a rough night last night with Hannah, not because she was up screaming. She was just like not going back to sleep, and she was waking up every hour and a half to eat. And I try to keep the minimum of when she eats every 2 hours, but sometimes it's like, maybe she's cluster feeding, I don't know. But yeah, last night was rough just because I didn't really sleep very much consecutively or at all. And then this morning, I got my longest stretch, and that was like an hour and a half as well. I have a whole bin of 0 to 3 month clothes that I just finished washing. Fold, and I want to put them away, but because Addie's still sleeping, or Addie's still working on her sleep, and I don't want her to like hear what I'm doing over in the next room in Hannah's room, I'm gonna fold the laundry down here, and then once she's like dead asleep, I'll bring it upstairs and put it away. I look horrendous, so we're just gonna get into the montage of me folding and putting away these clothes. Look at all what I folded. Look at all these clothes. This is all 0 to 3 months. So a lot of it is summer. However, we have plenty for winter. This is the most amount of clothes we have in a size. And the ones I didn't fold are because I need to hang them up. Not gonna bring a lot of the summer stuff because there might be an occasional warmer day, but not hot. So I'm not gonna bring like any of the tank tops upstairs. I'm gonna put them back in the bins. And then Addie woke up from her nap, and here we are. Anyway, where do I even begin? I'm just taking out the clothes that I'm hanging up. I'm already seeing a glimpse into my future as far as like what it's gonna look like without Zach's help once he goes back to work, even though he won't be in person until like probably mid to late April. And even then it's only once a week. He primarily works from home. A few days ago, we tried putting Hannah down in her bassinet during the day, and she slept by herself in the bassinet for 20 minutes during the day. And she only has contact naps during the day. So when we saw that she was able to sleep for 20 minutes outside of our arms during the day, we were like, okay, we need to start trying this more. And like, we haven't been trying it very often, but I just tried to do it now. And Addie was up here with me and Zach, and she started to cry and freak out because she wanted me, but I was trying to put Hannah down. And so Hannah's awake. She's chilling in her bassinet. I'm gonna go try to rock her and get her back down. But basically I said to Zach, I was like, we just basically can't have Addie upstairs with us when we're trying to put Hannah down. And then I realized when you go back to work, or when we're both working come June, what are we gonna do? Hannah needs to be put down for nap. And Addie, I have to watch Addie. I don't know what we're gonna do. I really like, what am I gonna do when Addie's awake and Hannah's taking like 4 naps a day and I have to rock her to sleep? Granted, I know that some of those are just gonna be in the carrier, that some of them are just gonna have to be contact naps. But like, I want her to be taking naps in her bassinet so that I can get things done, so that I can have undivided attention on Addie. Like, how am I going to keep Addie quiet and put the baby down? Yeah, the realization is starting to hit, like, oh, what are we going to do? Like, in a real way, what are we going to do? So I'm starting to get a little stressed out about that. That literally just happened for the first time, like just now. If you have any suggestions on how I'm supposed to juggle these two things, and like, she's a young toddler, she's not 2 yet, so I'm not going to be able to explain things to her. I can say like, we have all the books that explain like, when Sissy sleeps I quietly play with my toys, and like, we've had that book since Christmas. Like, we've been trying to prep her, and like, there's only so much you can do because she is, at the end of the day, a young toddler. So we tried our best to prep her. But I think, I don't know what we're gonna do. I have to just start Googling like what other parents did. Yeah, I'm stressed. I'm having this realization, like, I know so many parents have figured it out, but like, what did they do? You know? I was able to get her back to sleep, but when I tried to put her down, it was immediately eyes open. And so she's 10 minutes away from it being 2 hours since her last feed. So I'm just gonna keep her up for these 10 minutes. Maybe do some tummy time with her. She'll go back down for her next nap. Maybe I'll have Zach try to put her down because, you know, I do want to play with Addie. I want some time with her, even though I've already had time with her today. And I'm gonna try to finish putting these clothes away. I'll do a little bit of tummy time. But yeah, like, dude, I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Oh, no. Don't be sad, lady. Don't be sad. Mommy's almost done. I'm about to change little girl. She's getting a little fussy. I gotta change her and then feed her. I want to show you guys. I got all the 0 to 3 stuff in. The preemie has been gone and out, but I want to show you guys what it looks like. Here, we got the newborn stuff that needs to be hung up. I left a few summer options just in case we have a random 75-degree day, which could totally happen while she's 0 to 3 months. I also have like some little jackets for her, like sweaters. And then over here, I have extra pajamas. Okay, and then here are the 0 to 3 clothes. I have onesie t-shirts here, onesie long sleeves in this row, and then these 2 rows are pants, and then these are all of these zip-up sleepers. Anyway, I gotta change her, nurse her, and then I'm not sure when I'll be back, but I'll be back at some point. Me and Addie did a really cute St. Patrick's Day craft, which, let me just say, if you're gonna do a craft with a toddler, you need to have patience. You have to. And you have to be okay with it not looking like the sample picture of what you're trying to achieve. You need to be okay with things getting messy. Hannah got her first bottle tonight. There's still 1 ounce left. We attempted to give her 2.5 ounces. We used the Dr. Brown's glass bottles. She said to stay on preemie, and then if she's starting to struggle or get frustrated, then switch to newborn, because that is where there's not really, the doctor has always explained it's not about nipple confusion. As far as when it comes to like switching between the breast and the bottle, it's about the flow. Like, if the bottle has a stronger flow or they're getting more milk at once, they're going to prefer that to having to work for it at the boob. Funny enough, my letdown is so strong, which is actually something I've been struggling with, that the preemie nipple was actually a lot slower of a flow than my actual flow. So I think that's what was annoying her. And then I topped her off with some milk directly from the source. I nursed her. You just want to give her 1 or 2 bottles a week so that she's used to it, but I want her preference to be directly from the source because I am an exclusively nursing mom. I have officially decided that I am going for one night, an hour away, to a bachelorette party. Shout out to Sydney if you're watching this. I haven't had a girls' night out since my bachelorette in 2023, in June of 2023, and this bachelorette is at the end of May 2026. So it'll have been 3 years since I've had a girls' night. Like, I've gone out with Zach and his friends like once or twice, and then of course like I've had date nights with Zach, but I have not gone out and had a girls' night since 2023, and that's really sad. I don't know anyone outside of my one friend whose bachelorette it is. So, and I think they're all like a couple years younger than me. I don't think any of them have kids. I'm only 27. I'll be 28 in March. It is March. Oh my gosh. I'll be 28 in 8 days. My birthday's March 13th. I don't know when you guys are going to see this, but I was born Friday the 13th, and my birthday this year is also on Friday the 13th. But anyway, I'm only 28. Like, I got married at 25, got pregnant on my honeymoon, had my first baby freshly after turning 26, and then I had my second baby, this one, 2 months before turning 28, and like, I'm still young. And I will be gone less than 24 hours, but I'm so nervous for it, even though I'll be an hour away. We'll be able to drop everything and drive back home. That was a little tangent. That is why I'm kind of like starting to be like, all right, we need to start giving her bottles, because that is the first time I'm going to be away from her. Yeah, that's the end of tonight's 10-minute ramble. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I have a call with my HR department over like maternity leave stuff. Yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow. As long as everything goes well, I'm excited to get out and about tomorrow. I'm excited to have answers tomorrow as far as like her and what's going on with her stomach, and if anything's going on with her stomach, or if she's just being a normal fussy baby. I am hoping that our appointment tomorrow just eases my anxiety instead of gives me reason to be anxious. I'm hoping my call with HR is nothing and just a recap of everything. That is all. Welcome to my 17-minute ramble. Okay. That's it for now. Good morning. It's the next day. I had a rough night with her last night. Again, she just like wouldn't sleep. Addie's playing her Tony box, so apologies if you hear that in the background. I got up, got her dressed, did a little sponge bath with her because she has a doctor's appointment today and wanted her to be nice and fresh for it. She's turning up the Tony box. Yeah, I got her dressed and ready to go, and then right at 8:59, right before she called, I started feeding her so that she'd be occupied and happy while I was in my call. And apparently you could hear her that she was eating. She was like, oh, I hear little gulps. I was like, sorry. Anyway, call with HR went great. They just want my feedback once I return to work on like the process, because now that this is my second maternity leave with them and my second maternity leave with like complications, they're like just wanting to make sure like they can make it a smoother process for the next time they do this for someone. But it seems like everything has been figured out as far as that stuff. Hopefully everything goes well with on the state's end once I submit that paperwork, which I can't submit for another couple of weeks. Yeah, and then I got myself a little bit ready. I did skincare. I put on a sweater and leggings rather than a lounge set, and then I put earrings on. So anyway, we're gonna go to Dunkin' now and get bagels, and then her appointment's at 11, so I've gotta get going, but I wanted to say hey to you guys, give you a recap of our morning, and now I'll bring you along for the rest of our day. Addie, show me your outfit. Cute outfit, girl. She's the one that picked out wanting to wear the hat, so she looks really cool. She's got good style. Our Dunkin's right up there. Hello? Zach keeps setting off the alarm. Anyway, Zach went inside to go get our bagels. We were gonna go in, but we decided against it because we didn't want to bring outside food into Dunkin', and Zach didn't want to sit in the bagel shop for whatever reason. So we're just gonna go back home, but we got our coffees, we got our bagels. I got a BEC on an everything bagel with SPK. If you're from Jersey, you know what that means, but I'll tell you, it's bacon, egg, and cheese on an everything bagel with salt, pepper, ketchup. I don't think they use those abbreviations anywhere else outside of like tri-state area, right? Yeah, not like Texas. Yeah, here's the special painting we made yesterday that Addie and I made. Since I didn't like the raspberry one, I got a regular brown sugar shaken espresso, but I got it with the brown sugar on top. What? With the chocolate cold foam on top.
Yeah? What's up? It's me, Dada. I have a snack for you.
I can't really taste the rest of it because I just get a lot of cold foam, which is good. It tastes like frothed frothed. Yeah, it tastes like frothed chocolate milk, which is probably literally what it is. They go too light on the ketchup, but here it is. Still looks good. Is there even
any ketchup on it?
I don't know. There is. I see it, but I like a good amount of ketchup. But anyway, I'll be back after I'm done eating because I got to do it one-handed, so. And we're off. Oh. I used to hear about people saying their epidural hurt, like, when the weather was bad. I just got a shooting pain exactly where my epidural was. That hurt. Didn't experience that the first time around, so I guess something with this epidural is making it also susceptible to the elements. Anyway, I'm driving now. This angle is weird. My steering wheel is making things out of focus, so we're on our way to the doctor, and I will catch you guys up. So bad. Okay, everything went well. No concerns. Her 4 diapers, they tested 4 poopy diapers. They all came back negative, and like they could have totally come back as positive. So she said for now, if I notice more discomfort or anything like that, we can come back and have more diapers tested. But she also said that some babies like might not have the intolerance, but they just might like do better on less lactose. So from there I could just cut out dairy and see how she does if she gets any worse. But she says for now, do what I'm doing, nurse how I'm nursing, eat what I'm eating. And she said, you know, if I feel like she's getting worse, cut the dairy first, see how she does from there. But she said like just keep doing what I'm doing. So I'm gonna do that. She gained exactly a pound, which is exactly what they were looking for. And she had prior to that been gaining more than what they were looking for. So the fact that she's now like continuing to track on her curve, I'm like, is that okay? And she was like, she doesn't need to gain more than she needs. Like, this is perfect. Like, she's exactly where we want her to be. In fact, she went from the 18th percentile for weight to the 20th. So really, she's a little bit bigger than we were expecting her to be. And I'm like, it's just like, I'm used to the first 2 months of my kid's life for them to be like gaining so much more than they're supposed to be gaining. Oh. Y'all, I'm like up on a snowbank. Did I just get myself stuck? Oh no. Holy guacamole, y'all. I was able to get in no problem, but I just had trouble getting out of that spot because of the snow. Oh my gosh. That was almost... If I had to... No. I had to call a tow truck? No. The recap of the appointment. I kind of started talking about it, and then I needed to drive home. Her weight is good. Her weight is exactly where they want it to be. She's now, I think, 20 and a half inches long, which is crazy. Yeah, the doctor had literally no concerns. I asked about the poop. The poop came back negative, so there was no blood in the poop, and they had 4 diapers, which means that it doesn't seem like she's being inflamed right now. I explained that she had been a little bit fussy, a little bit gassy, and like it just made me nervous, and because of my daughter having the milk soy protein intolerance. So this time she was like, there's no reason for her to suspect that Hannah has it. So she said, keep doing what you're doing. You don't have to change your diet yet. The other thing she said was some babies, even if they don't have the intolerance, they might just do better gas-wise and like stomach-wise off of dairy. I asked her about the frothy poop. She was like, yeah, that's a little weird. Like, that's not like super typical. But it wasn't enough for her to be questioning it. I said that the poops were like yellow, sometimes yellow-green, and she just kind of was like, okay. Like, and I'm able to enjoy dairy and soy still. Stay tuned if that continues to be the case. The one random question I asked her was, which I don't think I've talked about it yet. We were invited to go to the Dominican Republic with my husband's family for his stepmom's birthday. And we would only go for like 3 nights. And this is in July. That is right. Like, it is like just shy of her 6-month birthday. So there are certain vaccines she wouldn't be eligible for until she hits 6 months, and they can't give it to you any earlier. Even if it's just like a week earlier, she has to be at least 6 months. So they don't love international travel before 6 months old, apparently. And if you're traveling internationally, once they're 6 months old, they do recommend an early MMR vaccine. And then also at 6 months is when they complete that set of vaccines that they get at 2, 4, and 6 months. So she was like, it stinks that it's just shy of her 6-month birthday, not after. But she said ultimately it was up to us, that the DR didn't have any specific red flags for her. Calling on all my moms that traveled internationally prior to their baby being 6 months, and like how that went, and if you would recommend it, if you've been to the DR with your baby or toddler or child, and if you'd recommend it. The one thing I do know is I will be traveling with a portable carbon monoxide detector because I do know someone that went to the DR for their honeymoon and ended up getting carbon monoxide poisoning and had to be hospitalized and was still dealing with the effects of it years later. I don't know, this was like maybe 10 years ago. And then, you know, we'll be taking all the other precautions that we can, staying out of the sun, keeping her cool. We are kind of going back and forth on if we want to do it or not. I think we're leaning towards yes. I will say we are going to probably say like maybe get travel insurance on this trip. The other thing is I honestly answered my postpartum depression screening a week ago when they sent it to me, and I do feel better than I did a week ago, but I did answer it honestly. And so today I think I mentioned this in my last video, but today they were like, so how are you? How are you doing? Like, you know, asking me how I am. Because I think they were little, I think I flew up some yellow flags with my responses. Feeling better now. I think I would answer that questionnaire differently today. They were like, we're gonna send you some additional resources through the portal. You know, I go on the portal. It was just hotlines. It was a list of hotlines. Anyway, that was funny. I don't feel like I need to be calling any hotlines. I'm now going to do my eyebrows, spruce myself up a little bit, put a little bit of makeup on for the first time forever, throw a YouTube video on, and then later today we're going to finally get my glasses fixed. My light died. I'll have to charge that. We're gonna go to Trader Joe's and yeah, just enjoy the rest of our day. It's a little bit gloomy. It's not straight up raining, but it is a little bit gloomy, so we'll see. But yeah, anyway, that's all. I'm gonna go now and I'll be back later. All right, I'm back now. I'm in Hannah's room. Addie is due to wake up from her nap any minute now, so I can be a little bit loud and wake her up a little bit if I have to. But I have a little bit of laundry I have to fold. I did my full makeup for the first time since having Hannah. I feel pretty good. Unfortunately, my hair, it's just so long. It's so long. But I'm going to make an appointment to get it cut in the beginning of April. I like my hair long, but like, look how long it is. And this is it curly. Imagine it straight or right out of the shower. Like, it is, the longest part is at my butt. That's too long. That's way too long. So I'm excited. I want it to be long, but like mid back as the longest length. And I also want to get layers, and I'm kind of toying with like potentially getting like face framing layers, because I saw a picture of me from, it was like 2023, yeah, spring of 2023, and I had my hair up in a bun, and then I had like little like bangs right here, and it looked so cute. Maybe I'll insert the picture right here. But anyway, I was like, oh, she's serving. I haven't lightened my hair since 2021. I'm a brunette through and through, 100%. I'm like a dark brunette, just shy of black. I love my dark hair. I just would not look good, like actually blonde. But I did have highlights at some point. I will insert a picture here. And they were light. Like those were lighter than I would do. And like, it was a lot all throughout my hair. I think I just want something like, maybe I'll insert an inspo picture here, like a lighter brown, just to add dimension. And then on top of that, like with all the layers and everything, even with when it's naturally curly, I just feel like that would look really nice. A little while later, I tried to film us like running our errands, but it was just so busy. And honestly, my hair was overstimulating me. I need it shorter. I need it shorter. Anyway, yeah, so we went to Warby Park. We went to, bro. We went, and I got my glasses fixed. Very excited about that. They shouldn't be falling off my face. She cleaned them as well. They look so much better. I was like embarrassed handing them to her, but anyway, and then we went to Trader Joe's, and it was a madhouse packed in there. We went to Trader Joe's. We picked up a few things that we didn't need. We picked up a few things that we did need. We are doing our big food shop on Monday. Then we came home and I fed Hannah. And then we did some tummy time down here on her play mat that we keep in the playroom, which is like, it's a mess, but not like so bad. Anyway, I'll bring you guys along the rest of the evening. I wanted to like film vlog style, having you follow us around the day, but the day was hectic, and we're gonna play in the playroom for a little bit. Zach's gonna take the dog on her walk, and then before we know it, it'll be dinner time. So anyway, yeah, let's finish off this evening. You're silly. You're silly. Oh my gosh. Not even 2 seconds later, now she's just reading her book. I'll take. Oh, she loves her sister. She says, I love you, Addison. Peekaboo. Are you gonna have Mama clean up before dinner? What time is it? Oh my goodness. 6:30. Go marching. Freaking epidural shots. Daisy, what are you doing up here?
Hey guys.
I almost dropped my camera, and in the process of me trying to like save it from falling, I smacked it against the table, and then the whole frame went fuzzy. So yeah, luckily, as you guys can see, it's okay. Thank God. Oh my gosh. Addie's in her crib right now working on going to sleep. She's like singing and playing with her stuffed animals. Zach went out to go get our sushi. That's what we are getting for takeout today. And then if you've been following along, you know the drill. We're gonna come back, pick out a movie, and eat our takeout. Oh my gosh, if you watch Traders, what do you think of the finale? I know you guys are seeing this like 2 or 3 weeks after the finale, but like, can you believe she got a Birkin out of it? So who can really be mad? Anyway, she's so cute, and I'm up in the air. If I like Rob or not, I don't know. But Zach's back with our sushi. All right, we decided on the Truman Show. And check out my sushi. There she is. And the pacifier. Zach and I have never seen the Truman Show, so we'll see. I think I missed some things. Now, it is now 11:30. We made it through the movie somehow, and now we are ready to crash and go to sleep. So I'm gonna take my contacts out, take off my now smeared makeup. I hope you guys enjoyed this very chit-chatty video. I don't even know what it's gonna look like when I edit it, but I hope you liked it, and stick around for the next one. Is my makeup smudged, or is it just my dark circles? I don't know, but come back for the next one.